Welcome to the Sisterhood of Limitless Living. I'm Dr. April Moreno, autoimmune wellness researcher and professional helping women around the world to live their best possible lives despite the autoimmune condition. Listen in as we speak on various topics about the autoimmune journey and interview amazing and inspiring women who are living and thriving despite their autoimmune condition. Let's get started. I'm here to talk to you today about describing your autoimmune condition. What are the words that you choose to describe the autoimmune condition that you're currently living with? So, in the news recently, I was watching at a restaurant at the bar. They had this television there, and there was a football game going on. And there was this running headline on the bottom of the screen about breaking news. This one football player, I can't remember his name, has disclosed that he suffers from an autoimmune disease. That led me to a couple of questions as I thought about it. At first, it was like, great, I'm really glad to hear that autoimmune diseases are becoming more publicly known, that they're more visible, that they're being more addressed and regarded as part of daily living, that they're becoming more addressed. And so that was my first impression of that running headline on that news screen. However, it also led me to think about that description that he suffers from an autoimmune disease, and whether a lot of people choose to describe it that way. At first, it sounded to me like it was quite severe. It sounded like it's something that he's in a lot of pain. And I don't know the details. I don't really know about this person. But just that discussion about suffering from an autoimmune disease, is that a common phrase? I don't know. It's one way to describe living with autoimmune stuff, right? So I'm going to describe 3 different ways that we could choose to describe the way we choose to live with autoimmune conditions. The first one is, yes, the one that we saw in the news, that this person, this football player, this individual suffers from an autoimmune disease. So there's a couple of words there that stick out to me. The word suffering, is that something that is very common? Is that something that is going to be happening to somebody every single day, every moment? Suffering, that label on the top of someone's head as they are known now in the sports world, that they suffer, and also from a disease. So suffering from this disease, it's quite very striking, I believe. It's a very striking description of the way this person is living with their autoimmune stuff, and now being known on a daily basis publicly as suffering from an autoimmune disease. Another way that we could look at this is that you have an autoimmune disease. So perhaps this is one way that somebody chooses to disclose or describe their condition to people, that they have an autoimmune disease of whatever name it is, or more than one name. So having that disease. Again, those 2 words, having and disease. That's another way we could decide to describe what we live with. Another one is choosing to live with a condition. So I live with an autoimmune condition. I live because I most definitely choose to live rather than suffer. And a condition because it's not a daily affliction. I don't feel the pain every single day, every single moment. So it is based on certain conditions. It is based for me on, the level of stress, the level of rest, whether I've had medication, nutrition, could be all these different factors related to this condition, whether it is being triggered or manifested at a current or specific time or not. So living with a condition is another way that we could look at this description. So again, how do you choose to describe your autoimmune condition? Those words do matter. And I leave you with that piece of information to think about along this journey. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good day. Thank you for listening to the Sisterhood of Limitless Living podcast. If you like what you heard, come and follow us and subscribe on iTunes or give us a review. Also, you can join us on the Facebook group, The Sisterhood of Limitless Living, or come visit me on my website, aprilmorenophd.com. Take care.